Where the hell do I start? What's up guys, my name is Paddy and welcome back to another video. Today the gameplay in the background actually has something to do with the topic. Not directly, but, well yes, I don't know. The reason why I say directly is often when I do a gameplay commentary that's actually talking about the gameplay, but I'm talking about the game that relates to the gameplay today. So, I'm about a week in. For those of you who don't know, Borderlands 2 came out on February the 21st of Friday. February? I just said February the 21st of Friday. Friday the 21st of September, which, when you're seeing this will be a week ago. When I'm recording this was 6 days ago. So, I wanted to get that far into the game because I wanted to have a complete knowledge base of it. I'll be doing non-spoiler and spoiler moments too, and I might, like, if I'm doing a spoil, I think I'll try and get non-spoiler stuff out of the way first so I can just go in depth with it afterwards. But if I just mix it all in, then I'll be sure to put like a spoiler warning down the bottom or something, so that you can mute the video, click on something else, maybe listen to something else, and then come back, and when the spoiler warning's gone away, you can unmute the video, or you can try and skip ahead and try and find out when the spoiler warning's gone away. But I don't know if I'm doing that, so don't count on it. I'm lazy. So let's get into things, shall we? So again, it's hard to know where to start. I think, you know, the first thing to do is to start with the start of the game. And I'm gonna try and spoil as little as possible, but the beginning of the game is very linear. The tutorial is a bit more fleshed out and a bit more noob friendly, I guess, than the first one is. But does that really hurt the game? I don't know, because although yes, it was linear, it did make you feel a part of the world, and I think, you know, it introduced you to your character, the tutorial character. I didn't dislike him as much as everyone else seems to be. I didn't dislike the claptrap in this. I think his whole personality of, you know, you being his minion and all that was pretty funny, and I enjoyed that. But it was too linear for my liking. But once you got to Liarsburg, I thought it opened up quite a bit. There was a lot of side quests you could do. I don't think you had to get to Sanctuary before things opened up, but yeah, it was a bit too linear. But I think it's enjoyable, and I think if you're picking up this game, I don't think you'll find there's too much of a problem at all. But it is a problem with the game itself. What about let's move on to the actual story. Oh no, let's stay on that tutorial thing a second. The story, actually, there was a lot of story to it. There's a lot of character to it, and I thought that's something that changed. I think it was a little impersonal in the first one. I think this, because there was a story there was something to listen to, and maybe it's just because I'm a story freak, but I think that made it all better. I really enjoyed just listening to the characters, getting to know Claptrap and all that, and getting to know your character, because you start with an audio tape. I know this is true for the soldier, the Gunzerker, also the commando, the Gunzerker, and the siren, but I haven't played with an assassin yet, so I don't know. But those three start with an audio tape in your inventory, which tells you a little bit about their past. So far, that's it, and I'm quite disappointed with that, because it's quite short, so I'm hoping it expands a bit more. But they're all three that I've heard are quite interesting. They're just not expansive, which is a bit unfortunate. Let's move on to the actual story now. The story is good. You know, I think it's an acceptable level, but it is very, very interesting for someone who likes the game. I think there's 3 levels of story. None, or just very minimal. There's a plot there. You're doing something for a reason, but it's not interesting, or it's not engaging, or it's not expansive. Then there's the middle one, which is there's a story there, there's a plot there, there's a background there, there's a history there, and it's expansive, it's detailed, it's interesting, but you have to like the game to want to hear it, basically, to go into the little areas that you don't have to go into, to see the little things that add a little piece to your knowledge that continues the story. And then there's the last one, which is a storytelling game, which is a game that is so not going too far to say as in like the game that focuses entirely on story, like a game that doesn't actually have any gameplay mechanics like DRS that did, but a game that has solid, or a game take it away from the game mechanics for a second, because I think, you know, there could be a very good storytelling game that has crap mechanics, and there could be a very good storytelling game that has good mechanics. But I don't think the mechanics matter when you're talking about this topic. If it has a very high story, the story is there in your face, it tells you everything, even if you're not intentionally looking for it, that you will know the story by the end of it. And if you want to know more, you will have to do some exploring. I think those are my 3 levels of story, and I would say for Borderlands 2, it's there. It's not that expansive, but it's there, and it's the medium one. You have to like the game, and you have to want to hear the story to do it. But there's a lot of little things in there for people who do want to hear more, and I like that. I like that. Probably I'm not going to hit everything on the first playthrough. Some confirmation information, just to fill some people in. New Game Plus is, from what I can see, back. I have a friend who is level 30 who is on the first mission. So I think New Game Plus is back, unless he was playing with friends. I don't know, but I think New Game Plus is back, and I can't confirm it. What I can confirm is the level cap is level 50. I've read that in places. I've read that on articles. I know that is to be true. It's the same level cap as Borderlands 1's original level cap was, so I don't really care. Hope they go back up to 69 with the DLC. More things. What about the pre-order bonuses? So, I got the Vault Hunters edition, which I think has all the pre-order bonuses, all the special edition bonuses, just not all the physical stuff. I got you might have seen it at the start of this video, I got a bobblehead, and I got a map of Pandora, and I got some stickers that I'm never going to use, so they're just going to be in the box. And I got a special case for the game. I got a big box around the game, and I also got a little case holder thing. But the pre-order bonuses that I got, and I think this is the max you could have gotten, is, well, no, I think you could have gotten more golden keys, but in terms of just from the actual stuff, not the amount. I think it's a golden key, the Necromancer DLC, sorry, the Necromancer DLC, the Vault Hunters Relic, the 2 special edition skins, the Contraband grenade, the Skyrocket grenade, and the Vault Legend skins, which come from playing Borderlands 1. Let's talk about them in order, aside from the skins, which don't matter, but the special edition skin for the Commando is really cool. I like that. But aside from that, the key, I have only used the key once, and that is on my multiplayer character. I have not used it on my single player character. I'm waiting for level 50. On my multiplayer character, we unlocked it, both of us, we didn't give a shit. We unlocked the chest at level 10, and we got weapons, which I personally would say are level 15. I got a assault rifle and an SMG, and he got 2 shields. I don't know if it is a set thing. It looks like it would be. I think it might be weapons or shields, or class mods maybe, or grenade mods I've heard some people have gotten. But I got 2 weapons, he got 2 shields. I took all my weapons, I took one of his shields. His permission, of course. And yeah, that was pretty cool. Aside from, but it's not overpowered at all, because I look at the stats on those weapons, they will not last to where my single player character is, who is at level 20 odd. By then I will have better things, so it's not overpowered at all. It is not ruining the game at all. It is fun to open the chest, and it's fun to get guaranteed purples and possibly oranges at later points in the game. But that's the thing, that's good. It's fun, but it doesn't ruin anything, and I like that very much so. Aside from that, the other pre-order bonus that I'm thinking of is the Necromancer DLC. Well, everyone's gonna get it eventually anyway. Everyone's gonna get it at the same time we are anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And all you have to do is pre-order it. So the day before, if you bought it the day before, you probably would have gotten it. So it's not at all anything to talk about. The Vault Hunters Relic, rare loot. I have not got an orange yet. I've got 1 orange. I've got 1 orange, and it's from a quest. I have not got an orange from a drop system yet. So that's about it. It doesn't seem overpowered, and if you're asking me, oh, but you must have ditched it earlier, I have used the Vault Hunters Relic for 21 levels. I had it on when I started. Despite all the relics that came in, I thought, I want rare loot. This is Borderlands. Loot is what it's all about to me. And well, yeah, loot's what it's all about to me in Borderlands. I'd say in Borderlands 2, I think the story is really good, that I enjoy that the most. But averaging between the two games, the loot is the funnest thing, and I just kept it on, and it's been pretty cool. I haven't got anything super good, but it's been pretty cool. I don't think it's overpowered at all. I think there are better relics in the game. I think the maximum health relics, and depending on what class you are, you can have other relics. There's experience boosting relics. There's a lot of cool relics, and it's very balanced in my opinion. Even though I haven't gotten rid of it at all, I still think it's balanced because I think it's for people who experience fun in different ways. I think the looting system is the funnest thing in the game, so I'll keep it there. It's honestly not. If I was talking about like the best character I could make, I would have gone for the health relic, because those things you get like 200 extra health and health regeneration and stuff. That is really good relic. So I think it's well balanced so far. But yeah, aside from that, I'm trying to think, is there any other pre-order bonuses that anyone would be a bit pissy about? The gearbox weapons that you got at the beginning of the game are garbage. I kept the assault rifle for a bit longer than I should have probably, but that's only because it's a gold AK-47. Yeah, I like that. But no, they're garbage. They won't last past the first area. They are absolute garbage. They are golden guns, which is cool. They have the Gearbox logo on, which is cool. They're not even a make anymore. If you remember, in Borderlands 1, Gearbox were a make. They're not in this game. Gearbox is just the name of the weapon. It was made by other manufacturers. So that's kind of unfortunate. I would have liked them to be cool, as in like the manufacturers could. They might have scaled with your level, but never been as good as the stuff you'd find. But to be honest with you, I would have rather them do this than completely screw it up and make them better than anything else you get. So I'm pretty happy with it. I'm kind of gutted that it's not that good, but at least it's not unbalanced, and that's the most important thing to me. Alright, I think I'm done with the pre-order bonuses and the information and stuff. In case you want to know where my exposure level is, I am halfway through the game. I say I'm probably like 3/4 through it. I don't know. My friend Sam, if I was correct in he getting into New Game Plus at level 30, I'm 3/4 the way, 2/3 the way through it. I'm pretty far into the story. I've done a lot of stuff in terms of the main quest. I think I'm pretty far ahead. I've done every single side quest, pretty much, up until the third set of side quests. I think they're in set so far. I think it's the third one. The third set of big dump of side quests. Like, you get a dump at the start, you get a dump after every few big story plots, and I've just got a massive dump of quests in the Quest Hub Sanctuary, after I defeated a boss of some kind. I think it was a boss of some kind. Let me think, what did I just do in the story? Was it, No, I remember. No, yeah, massive dump of quests after I did something really big. Aside from that, I keep saying aside from that, that's a very terrible saying. Is the physical stuff worth it? For me, yes, because I had a room that needed decorating. The bobblehead is really cool, because it has some weight to it. It's well crafted, it's well painted. The bobblehead itself is cool, and the actual figure is really well crafted. It's fantastic. I am a suckler for video game maps, so I cannot give you an unbiased opinion on that. Every Bethesda game or Rockstar game that has come with a map, I have either collected or really liked. Lately I've been collecting them, and I've got the Pandora one, I've got the Skyrim one, and also I just remembered, but I haven't thought about this before, I bought Grand Theft Auto 4 recently, a new copy of that, to get a discount on a headset, and I haven't opened it yet, it's still in its packaging. I got it on the same day as Borderlands 2. But there's going to be a map in there, so I'm probably going to frame all three of them, chuck them up on my bare walls. But yeah, I'm a stickler for video game maps, so I can't give you an unbiased opinion on that. What I can say is it's good material, it looks well painted. I don't know if it's well detailed or not, but to be quite frank, it looks nice. I'm going to frame it. Right, I've got 3 more minutes to go before we need to take a quick break from commentary, because I have a quick thing to talk about. I should talk about it now. I should talk about like the sounds in the game. The guns sound so much better. They sound like the real guns sound like real guns. They're not real guns, but the guns that are human guns sound like real guns. They have a good power to them. They feel good. And that leads me to the next topic, but I'm going to continue with this for a second. They feel good, they sound right, the alien guns sound cool. I think I like that. The human guns sound believable, the alien guns sound cool. And I think that's a great mix. The new effects sound cool, none of it is overpowered. I like what they did with the element. Slag is a... Sorry about that again. Slag is a really cool element. Fire, corrosive, and shock now have whole different aspects of the game. Corrosive now just burns through armor, and that's its big thing. Shock still does shields well, and fire now does skin well as well. The shock and the fire haven't changed, but the fact that corrosive has now gone to this new armor health type means that all three of them have their place, along with slag. Explosive is completely usable now. I think the rocket launchers were cool in the first one, but there's but the explosive weapons weren't. They were crap. But now you've got explosive weapons that are actually really cool, and there's a whole assault rifle category based on the assault rifles, and I like that. I've gone on a completely rough tangent, but it's a pretty decent tangent, I don't mind too much. But I should be talking about sounds. The dialogue is fantastic, it is stellar. The voice actors are gritty in places, funny in places. They fit the characters so well. I am so happy with what they did with the voice acting. They have retained, from what I can tell, all the characters from the first game. And I'm not sure about the original 4 Vault Hunters, which, not spoiling anything, that was in the trailers. They're all still in the game. They all sound like the old ones, if they're not exactly the old ones. So that's always good for me to hear. And they're fantastic voice actors. They fit the characters so well, and it really aids the plot along. And I think that's what shows a great game. Alright, last thing to talk about before I just show you, listen to this. It won't be too much of a break. It's going to be a short audio clip from the gameplay I'm showing, just to demonstrate my point. The music is so much better. There's so much of a variety. It is so much more audible, and it is just fantastic soundtrack. It fits the situation so well, and it just aids the game experience in its entirety. It's a fantastic choice, a fantastic change, and I've got to aid them on it. The music in this game is just flat out, in my opinion, a whole step up from the last time. So that is a congratulations to Gearbox. I don't want to talk too much longer because it's about to start, but I'm about to demonstrate exactly like a clip of what I think is one of the best soundtracks I've heard so far. There is so much more. There are better ones, but this was the best one from the gameplay that I had picked up. So I'm going to be quiet in a few more seconds, and I'll get to demonstrate the music to you. I will see you guys in a bit. The music doesn't start till 17:30, so I'll just blabber on for a few more seconds and go.
Thanks, honey.
Alright, we are back. That was the soundtrack from the arena, which, well, the first arena I found called the Circle of Slaughter in the fridge. I hope you enjoyed that little snippet there. There was also a bit of gun sounds in there, a little tiny bit of dialogue, but it's basically just, ah, you're killing me. Yeah. So, I'm aiming to talk for another 10 minutes. I've structured this commentary pretty much. I wanted to get to that gap, talking about whatever I wanted, and now we'll talk about, basically, what do I think of the game as a whole. And I want to first mention that as a shooter, it is stellar. I think it has completely turned around what was the problem with the first game, and that was clumsy shooting mechanics, floaty movement, quite obviously crappy aim on consoles, which was very slow, the sensitivity was very low, and obviously FOV problems on PC, which have been completely fixed, which I might add quite quickly. The PC port for this game is astonishingly good. Like, in terms of the port, it's very, very good. The graphics options are very, very good, I've heard, and I've seen, and it is a complete proof that Gearbox did mean what they say when they said they're going to be more tentative to PCs now. I chose not to buy this game on PC, despite my buying of this game on the original on the PC, because my friends were playing this on Xbox. So that's the reason why I bought this game on Xbox, just because I have people to play with, and I wanted to play multiplayer on this game. I haven't yet. Well, obviously I have. I've played about 10 levels of it on single player. I just haven't played the whole game yet, because I'm trying to rush through it. Honestly, not rush through it, but I'm trying to power through it. It's taken me a week and I still haven't finished the game. I'm quite happy with that. But I am also a side quest guy. But yeah, I'm trying to power through the game before I do multiplayer, and hopefully I'll get them before the first multiplayer pack, the first DLC comes out, and then I'll do that first with my friends, I assume. Anyway, that was an off tangent, as we've gotten 2 minutes wasted. I'd say about 10 minutes from you, aside, I'm not gonna say aside from that, because it's a terrible, terrible thing to say. Oh yeah, shooter is very stellar. Like I said before, the guns sound fantastic. They sound brilliant. The sounds for the guns have been completely improved, and that makes it much more satisfying. The feel of the guns, they are much more smooth to oh god, sorry about the big noise you might have just heard. I just knocked my very unstable table with my mic on it. But the feel of the guns is so much better. They shoot so much easier. The aiming is so much easier. The reloads are so much cooler looking. The gun animations altogether are so much cooler looking. They have completely upped their game when it comes to the FPS. And in terms of the RPG, I think they stayed boldly on target. Not boldly. I think they've stayed generally on target. As an RPG, I think it's pretty much the average that Borderlands brought us. I think maybe it's gone down a little bit. I don't find the skill trees as interesting for the Commando or the Gunzerker as I did in the first one. And I think that's a problem, especially since the Commando, is it Commando or Commander? I don't know. Commando has a turret. He has a Scorpio turret, which is there a Scorpio turret in this one? Was that the old one? I don't remember. He has a turret from which is similar to the last one, except with a bit more armor, I'd say, and a bit weaker. And that had so much versatility in the first one, because you could have elements on it, you could have healing, you could have ammo regeneration. It was a fantastic thing. And I think, you know, I haven't hit max skill tree on any of my skill trees yet. And I think once I get to the slagging turret, which sounds quite awesome, and the dual turret, and the nuclear explosion or something I'm going to do with my turret, it'll be a lot more interesting. But even looking at that, I think the first one was better, because you had ammo regeneration. It was a big station, and you could use it as an element, you could use it as a partner, like, you could use the shock to take down the shields on the turret, and then you could use your fire gun. It was way more versatile because it had elements to it. And I think in this one it also has elements to it. I've seen it use elements, but I've never been able to choose the element on it. I'm sure it's sometimes shot and something's burst into flames or spark or something. I don't know. Like I said, this is a first impressions video. This is a week in. I hope to come back with you in like 3 months time after all the DLC is done, and come back to you with a full review on the game, a 6 month down the line review. Should you buy it in Steam sales? Should you buy it at half price? Should you buy all the DLC for it? Should you buy this new Game of the Year edition that's coming out? Possibly. So I'd like to get a review for that done in 3 months time when I've finished the game pretty much and I've got a big opinion on it. But for now I'm going to give you these first impressions, and I want to just mention those two things I just mentioned again. I think the shooter has gone up, has completely taken a step up, and is an absolutely stellar shooter. In fact, it might be one of the best shooting, like, as a shooter, it might be one of the best shooters we've had all year, for the last few years. In terms of shooting mechanics, I can't think of a game that has done it better, a AAA game that I can think of that has done it better than this. Deus Ex Human Revolution did it pretty well, but this feels way more satisfying than that, and it's just a great feeling shooter. Alright, onto the aesthetic. It is the same as the first one, with better graphical fidelity. What else could you ask for if you're a Borderlands fan? If you're not, you're probably not going to enjoy the graphic style on this. If you did, you are going to love it. I think the characters do lose a bit of character in terms of, like, what do they feel like. Personally, that's my opinion. I don't think they're as quirky as the first one, but my opinion has gone up on the character design and the character feel as the game has gone on. So I honestly do believe that'll change soon. After I got a few minutes into it, I think it was just the starstruck of it. This game that I've been waiting for a long time. It's probably been the most anticipated game of the last 2 years. But yeah, I think if you like the aesthetic style of the first one, you will love this game, because it keeps the aesthetic style and it ups the graphical fidelity by miles, even on console. Is the console version any good? Yeah, I mean, the sensitivity is decent, the loading screens aren't bad, the graphics aren't as good, obviously, but it feels decent. I mean, I never had any. Obviously, for the first few hours when I hadn't played a console shooter in months since Black Ops 1, since I stopped playing Black Ops 1, but I think it feels great. It feels absolutely great, and it's a I have to come out and say this. I've been treading on the edges of this for the last few minutes. I'm gonna have to come out and say it. As a game, it is better than the first game in almost every single way, and that's okay to me. And I think I want to provide another opinion. There's been a few opinions on YouTube that the game improves in every way, but it's just not I can't even say that word, innovative enough. But for someone who does dedicate a lot of time to his games, so someone who does spend a lot of time on one game, finding everything for it, and I did that with Borderlands 1, and I come into this game and I want to say to you, it is an absolutely stellar game, and it is a very good candidate for Game of the Year. And I know what kind of games get Game of the Year. I've tracked Game of the Year for a very long time, and I'm pretty sure it's a damn shame that Red Dead Redemption came out in the same year as Borderlands 1, because oh no, I think Borderlands 1 did get Game of the Year at the BAFTAs, if that's what it's called. I don't think it's called the BAFTAs, but whatever. I think Borderlands 1 did get Game of the Year with that big award show that gives them the right, I guess, to put out a Game of the Year edition. But you know, I think if you look at the last few games of the year, I think it was Skyrim last year, wasn't it? Probably year before, bet it was Fallout New Vegas. Actually, no, it wasn't Fallout New Vegas. I remember now because they didn't put out the Game of the Year edition. But year before that, I think 2010 might have been Red Dead, because I don't remember. But you know, they do tend to go for these games, and I don't see anything else unless Dishonored is fantastic that really can't top this in that type of category, in the big, expansive, massive piece of content game that's really good. Dishonored is the only one I can see that's really topping it this year, and I don't know, maybe. But Borderlands 2, just to give a conclusion, 20 hours into the game, a week into the game, it is 110. If you like the first one, you will love this game. If you like the first one, you probably bought this already. If you're wondering whether it's going to be worth your money, yeah. I paid 50 quid for this game. More, I think. And I still think it's been worth my money already. It's been 20 hours of quality experience, which is worth so much to me. And it's going to be worth way more, because I'm not even halfway into the game yet, probably. Especially with New Game Plus. If you're thinking, is it going to be worth it in comparison to other games this year? Probably. It's one of those games, you know, look at the lineup that's coming up, the big games that are coming up. Let's say AAA games right now that are coming up soon. Dishonored comes out in a week or two's time. You got Pokemon, I don't think people really consider that a big game anymore. Black Ops obviously comes out. Assassin's Creed is obviously coming out, which is a big one to contest with this game. And I had one in my mind too. I had one in my mind. I had a good game to go along with it, but I've completely forgotten. I'm sorry to the game that I have left out entirely, but whatever. I think it's worth the money. It's a fantastic experience, and I've ranted on for a very long time now, and I just want to say, just to give a short and snappy conclusion, the game is absolute it's hit expectations. It hasn't gone that far above them. I think that it has gone above them. I didn't expect them to put out such a good PC port. I didn't expect them to put in such a fantastic story. There are three aspects to a game like this that make me want to buy it, and that is, you know, the shooting, the RPG elements, and the story, which I know adds to RPG elements, but let's just say the leveling and all that. And I would say, you know, in all three, it's good. In shooting, it is stellar. In shooting, it is stellar. In the other two, it's very good. And I think overall, this game is an excellent game, and it definitely shows that Gearbox are a good developer. And I think, you know, yes, they've had slip-ups in the past, but they can create stuff like this. They can create original IPs like this and then develop them later. And it's a great RPG. It is a fantastic shooter, and it has a good story. It is a must buy for anybody who likes this type of game, and it is a absolute buy for anybody who liked the first one. That's it from me. I hope you've enjoyed my absolute ramblings. If you did, or you think this review is helpful, you can click on the like button, and if you want to see more content, the easiest way to do that is to click subscribe. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Red Dead Redemption should be starting again on Monday. Peace out.